Hi, thanks very much for clicking on the video link. My name is Natalie, but this is Jim. Hi, Jim. How are you?
I'm fine, Natalie. How are you?
I'm doing really well. Jim, thanks for signing up for an idle chat. You're a courageous man.
I am indeed. I think I'm taking my life in my hands. Sort of.
It's
Possible. Yeah.
possible.
I've seen some of your work. I'm worried.
Oh, and it's vicious journalism.
Yes, that's what I hear.
Yeah, that's yeah.
Yeah.
You don't need to believe the rumors.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
All
Okay.
right. So, Jim, what sound or noise do you love most?
Probably my granddaughter's laughter. It's really cool. I mean, there's one of them in particular, but all of them and are it's just really heartwarming to hear them laugh, particularly if I can make it happen, which I try to do on a regular basis.
Like a good granddad does.
That's what I do. Or a bribery works, one or the other.
And as grandparents, we're allowed to do that.
That's true. That's
Yes,
true. Yep.
absolutely. The rules don't apply to us. We were
No,
good parents.
I
Now we
try
get
to
to
ex
have fun.
I try to explain that to my son. He doesn't understand. So I'm working on it.
He will.
Yeah, I know.
When it's his turn, he will.
Yeah, well, I'm trying. It's getting harder as she gets older. They get older. I mean, I've now got them 8 through 3 months. So, we'll see.
Yeah, getting older, it happens to all of us.
Yeah, that's right. Yes.
Yeah. And in fact, if you're immune to it, we should probably get worried.
That's right.
Right.
That's true.
Let's see, Jim, what is the best sandwich?
The best sandwich. That's an interesting question. I love a good grilled cheese and then bacon. No tomato. Too gooey with tomato. So
Canadian bacon or streaky bacon?
American bacon. Yeah, it's just regular American bacon. I never had one with Canadian bacon. That's an interesting idea. I'll have to try that.
They're quite good, actually.
Yeah. I mean, I eat them on Eggs Benedict. Why don't I try that? Yeah,
There you go. Yeah, give it a shot.
I'll give it a shot.
Yeah, stretch your wings a little bit.
Don't do it.
All right, sir. What bit of trivia do you know that is really fascinating, but overall just sort of completely useless?
Oh, there's so much. Um, my wife tells me that on a regular basis. Why do you know this stuff? And I have no clue. I wow. I know a lot about the operation of Capitol Hill, which is kind of scary, what they do and why they do it. Um, I know one small piece that's actually fascinating, but my father-in-law, now deceased, wrote the rule that decided when Gerald Ford became president of the United States when Richard Nixon resigned. The actual time. Nixon was going to resign on a particular day, but the question was, what time does that transfer of power take place? And somebody had to decide that. And at the time, Ed was at the government, what's now the Government Accountability Office, and they turned to him and asked him for a decision. And he wrote the rule that said it was, I think, 1201 or 3 or something. He came up with something. I never asked him what time it was. I should have, now that I think about it. But yeah, I mean,
You have to Google it.
yeah, isn't that an interesting little trivia fact? I mean,
I guess I never really thought about it, but yeah, somebody's got to say this is the bright line.
this is when it happens
Yeah.
because, certain things have to happen, right?
Well, yeah,
Who's
there
in
has to
charge?
be a transfer of power at some delineated point.
Correct. Who's in charge? Right.
Jim,
Yes.
Now, I know that you like technology. Is there a particular piece of technology soon to be released or maybe far into the future released that you're particularly looking forward to?
Gosh, there's so much, predicting stuff is so hard. I was thinking back, I remember when email first came out and websites first came out. Wasn't that long ago, you know, and cell phones and um, I guess in terms of, I'm not sure it's a piece of technology, but years ago I had a chance to lobby for the National Aerospace Plane, which was supposed to do, hit the um, hyperspace and transport folks between continents in minutes and not hours. And I'd love to see that come into play and be able to get places faster than we do now. Um, uh,
Yeah, but that's something that we're currently working on a prototype for.
yeah, I mean, it's coming back. I mean, I don't think it's going to be called NAS or the National Aerospace Plane, but it's going to be called something. Um, The superconducting super collider was another product of mine or project of mine, and that's kind of cool to see what they're doing with that, and exploding or colliding particles and trying to figure out what holds them all together. That's pretty interesting. I mean,
Yeah.
there's a lot of tech.
Anything called the God particle has my attention.
Yeah, exactly. See, I mean, the stuff we know and don't know.
There you go. Nerds unite.
That's that's right. Yeah.
I saw a kid wear a t-shirt not too far from the collider, and it read the geek shall inherit the earth.
That's probably quite true. The geek shall inherit the earth. I like that.
Right. I,
Uh,
yeah,
yeah,
I thought it
I
was
can see that.
apropos.
Yeah, I can. I may buy one of those, or or more than one.
Yeah, you might need one for your son also. Jim, do you have a green thumb?
No, no. No, no, no. Don't give me anything. No plants. No. Now, and it comes legitimately. My father and I used to move things in our yard or plant things in our yard at my mother's request. And I learned that my father would make decisions about whether it should live or die based on what he wanted to have happen. He would do it because my mom asked him to do it, and then make a decision on whether he wanted that plant to live or die. So when I got to be a teenager and figured this out, that he had a plan, I would ask him if he wanted this to live or die. And if when he told me that, I then knew what to do. So I could kill it nice and easily. Unfortunately, I think I figured out how to kill it better than I ever learned how to keep it alive. So no, I have no green thumb whatsoever.
Destruction is always easier, isn't it?
It's much easier than trying to keep something alive. So
It
no,
is.
no green thumb, not here. But mom's happy.
That's
That's
what
what
matters
kind of,
most.
that's what kind of yep, keep mom happy.
Priorities.
Yep,
Priorities.
yep.
Um, Jim, let's imagine that you live uh, completely off grid for a month.
Hmm.
Is this a vacation for you, or is this a nightmare for you?
I turned it into a vacation. I would. I turned it into a vacation. I think I could do that. That would be pretty cool. Um, I don't think it would be a nightmare at all. I'd miss some of the pleasantries, obviously. Um, but I'd really like that.
I think for a month you'd be okay. Set your autoresponders and
Yeah, I could do that, I think. I know I could do it for 2 weeks.
yeah, I,
Um,
I think it would be good and healthy for most of us.
yeah, I think so. Maybe that's what they mean by a sober January.
Possibly. possibly, but you know, honestly, you and I are of an age that we essentially grew up off the grid.
Yes, that's true.
It, for
Yeah,
us, people of our age, it would just be reverting back to a really pleasant childhood.
yes, that really would. That's what I was thinking, actually, was we didn't have all this electronic stuff when I was a kid. Uh, I mean, yeah, I could do that. I
I
would do
mean, our yeah, our TV only had 3 bad channels anyway.
right.
Not
And you had to get
sacrificing
up
a
to
lot.
change it. Yeah, yeah, that's right. Although we had a remote control and but we discovered that my keychain would change it. If you jingled your keychain, it would change the channel sometimes. So yeah.
That's pretty bougie. At our house, I was the remote control.
Yes, that's right. Yeah, so was I. And then my younger sister, and then my younger sister. Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
I
It's good
could
to
have done
have
with
younger.
a keychain like that.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Good to have siblings.
Right.
Yep.
Jim, if I enrolled you in a talent show, what kind of performance would you give us?
Not much. But the only thing I played the recorder as a kid terribly. I tried the guitar as a kid. And unfortunately, I sat right next to a kid who could play by ear. And that was incredibly frustrating for me because as soon as the teacher played something, he could play it. I thought I was dumber than dirt. And so, it didn't work. Um, I did do a little bit of acting, um, but I don't think that's, I mean, I mean, dramatic reading, maybe.
Okay.
That's about it. Maybe I could do a Abraham Lincoln thing or something.
There you go. That's a
Yeah,
different answer. I like that answer a lot.
yeah.
And Mr. McCarthy, I will ask you the same question that I ask everybody at the end of an idle chat. And that is, can you give me a little information about who you are, what you do, how you do it? Tell me a little bit about your practice and what you love most about our industry.
Well, it's interesting. I came up through the business side of things, as opposed to the legal side. Um, I managed folks and people and companies and not-for-profit organizations, and I've had about 6 or 7 different careers, it seems, over the years. And then late in life, fulfilled a childhood dream and went to law school. Like in 2000, I'm sorry, 2020, just during my COVID days, went to law school, mostly because I had some time on my hands, like everybody did. But I ended up going to law school, graduating in 22. So I'm obviously, it's a little late to open practice, so practice, a legal practice, hanging out of shingles or being a junior associate at a law firm is probably something I'm not going to do. But mediation is really cool. It's really what I've been doing most of my career, particularly as an executive or a manager, is resolving people's issues, negotiating solutions between parties, whether they were external parties or internal parties, listening to the facts and deciding, making a decision, or helping them make decisions, which was really my management style all along, was not to make the decisions, but to help my employees come to a decision, or a mutually acceptable decision if there was a disagreement. And so it just kind of fits. And I enjoy the mediation round, helping people find a solution, particularly one that doesn't cost them an arm and a leg, that saves them a fortune, saves them time. I just enjoy the process. The more complicated, the better from my end, the more business-like, the better. And I just enjoy helping folks. So I get a kick out of what I do. And that's what I've done most of my career. So this is probably the last stop on the way, but I'm enjoying it. So.
Well, they're really lucky to have somebody with your kind of experience to, to help guide them through what can be, an anxiety-inducing dispute.
Yeah,
But yeah, it's really nice that you're there. You look like a guy who's got at least 2 more passport photos in you.
2 more passport photos. I hope so. I hope so. 2 more passport photos. That would actually, I have to have it redone for next year. So yeah, maybe,
See, there you
maybe
go.
that's very fortuitous. I like that. Yeah,
There you
I,
go. On an actuarial table, I think time should be measured by the optimal number of passport photos.
I'm with you. I think that would work. I, I'm looking forward to it. So this one will be significantly different than the last, but I'm looking
It's,
forward to it.
yeah. Well, yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Jim, thanks so much for joining me for an idle chat for the American Bar Association section for dispute resolution. It was really lovely, flashing some cards your way to see what comes back.
I appreciate it, Natalie. It was great to talk to you. I enjoyed it. Take care.